Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's not out of disrespect that I'm sitting down. It's, I hope you will really try and reasonably accommodate me because I'm reading from the sheet. But we come from Disabled People South Africa. Disabled People South Africa is a cross-disability national organization of persons with disabilities trying to liberate ourselves, trying to ensure that society is inclusive of all people. So diversity is very, very important to us. So, from Disabled People South Africa's point of view, because I'm not going to read the whole speech, otherwise we'll stay here until 6 or later, of which I don't want that. Otherwise I'll stay alone here. Like what happened with a certain speaker in a certain hall, he spoke and spoke alone, and there was only one person left. He then said, I really thank you for listening to me for such a long time while others have gone. And he said, no, you know, I'm just a security guard. So I don't want that situation to happen. Now, we say diversity is very, very, very important to us as disabled people, South Africa, because we really value inclusion. Therefore, we've got a program. Our main program is advocacy for inclusion. And this advocacy includes, among other issues of sensitization around disability issues of raising awareness, issues of assisting in policy development. Look at the Employment Equity Act, the way it is. It may have certain flaws, but we've participated in making what it is. The Integrated National Disability Strategy White Paper, the Convention on the Rights of, the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, you name many, many more that we have contributed in making what they are. Now, we should understand that the majority of us as disabled people have been previously excluded by the system. It could be the apartheid system and other forms of systems that have excluded us, not only in South Africa but also worldwide. So the factors that have led to our exclusion include political exclusion, social exclusion, and many more. That we were previously regarded as people in need of care, people who need separation. Now, if you look at such, you would find that previous studies have concentrated more on care, disability care. That is issues of like issues of protected or sheltered employment and so forth. Now, according to this view, is that disabled people are in need of care, they are in need of welfare and so forth, which is the medical model of disability. However, nowadays, this also led to a situation where those disabled people who were part of the mainstream were also stereotyped. For example, thinking that a person with physical disability, a wheelchair user, would only be a receptionist, or a blind person would only be a switchboard operator. Such stereotypes. Now, whereas this situation, although it may have had some flaws, it has produced people like us, the people of the late 20th century, who said enough is enough, we need our own liberation. And really we are pushing this liberation. Now, we started to assert ourselves worldwide during the 1980s to say we need to liberate ourselves, we need liberation. And indeed, when this new government came in 1994, we embraced it, and we, together with the government, ensured that there are non-discrimination clauses starting from the Constitution onwards. Now, it is very, very important that we have such opportunities in the open labor market. At least we get employment opportunities. Now, I'm going to speak to, I need to just speak to a few issues. We know that what we do normally is meet the equity target. But I think we need to do more. We need to do more to ensure that we embrace diversity, we embrace talent. We need to, because many researchers have concentrated on the equity targets, especially on meeting legislative targets. But we need research that could relate the employment of disabled people, relate this diversity to the economic and service delivery benefits, because that is where it's lacking. Now, we know that the current trend is that we need equal employment. That as we promote equal opportunities, states should take affirmative actions, hence the Employment Equity Act and the quotas and so forth. Now, as we plan for the employment of disabled people, we should take into consideration many measures. It shouldn't just be employment for the sake of employment. It's a matter of reasonable accommodation, it's a matter of issues of career pathing, and so forth and so forth. Ensuring that indeed there is universal access to ensure that a person with a disability is employed and can enhance his or her capabilities, can unfold his or her potential. And it is very important that as we use affirmative action numbers, we do agree that numbers are very important, but we need to use them holistically for the purpose of diversity. Because what other firms do, they concentrate more on numbers and exclude other forms of disability. You would find a firm saying, in our corporate, we cannot employ a deaf person. In our corporate, we cannot employ a blind person. In our corporate, we cannot employ a wheelchair user. Then, what form of disability do you want? See, that is where the problem is. We tend to be choosy depending on our perspective on different disabilities, or on the disability that we understand the most. But we're saying, yes, we need to meet the quota, the target, but we shouldn't be choosy. Let's look at talent, at the potential. If the person is well qualified and has got the potential, why don't we find a means of employing that person, of reasonably accommodating that person? That is the question. And indeed, employment equity, issues of diversity, it has been already said that it should be driven by top management. It is very important. It should also be supported by career pathing. I mean, we know that there are many disabled people who have been employed elsewhere, either in government or in the corporate, that they are not receiving the necessary training, the necessary development, because it's often said we do not have the necessary assistive devices, but we do. SDPSA and other organizations of disabled people, we've got solutions. We are here to give solutions. I think without wasting more time, these are the few points that one could say, and just to emphasize this point that we are here to assist until society becomes a true society for all, the country that belongs to all who live in it. Thank you.